Hey everyone, Danielle here, and I'm back with a tutorial. I do have a template over on my Etsy. It's going to be on my website too. I'm going to show you how I made this book of faces. So this is kind of like my rough draft of making this. I kind of pieced it together from something I had in mind. I made this with watercolors and I really like how it turned out, so I created a template so that you could make it for yourself. I'm gonna just share my process from start to finish, and then you'll be able to kind of have an idea of what you can do with the template. I'm gonna show you how to make this without the template. So if you want to just grab some watercolor paper, I'm gonna grab 3 sheets. The next thing you're gonna do is fold each one in half. This paper is really thick, so I'm just using my bone folder to make sure that those are creased. I'd love for you to join my newsletter. I'm going to leave a link down below so that you can keep up with my studio projects, new products, and artwork. Once I have everything folded, I'm going to just go ahead and slide each one into one another so that it kind of forms a W, and I'm going to glue those down. I'm going to use my face stencil to add the faces in. This stencil is available over on my website for pre-order. I'm going to mark the edge so that I know where to place each one on each page, and then I'm going to go ahead and pencil those in. I'm going to just stencil in the face on every page. So although I marked each page, the faces were still off by quite a bit. So I recommend you just do the front cover first and then cut it out and then go from there. Because doing it this way, they're all going to be weird. I'm not sure why, but they just all kind of turned out weird. Again, this is just kind of straight out of my brain. I don't really know if it's going to work. I'm kind of testing this along with you. I'm going to grab some watercolor and then I'm going to stencil again right on top of where I did my pencil marks. So I did a face a while back in my journal, and this is the watercolor face that I wanted to kind of replicate in my accordion fold book. I chose a different skin tone for each page, even if it wasn't a normal skin tone like a brown or a peach or a cream color. I just chose whatever color I kind of came up with. After that first layer was dry, I went in with my pencil and kind of defined some of the features. Since watercolor dries so light, I did go back in with a second layer of paint. Now that everything's dry, I'm going to use my cutting mat and I'm going to put that behind the face so that I can start to cut out the silhouette. as I was cutting out the cover, just this first part right here, I felt like that would make a really cool cover, just if you cut that one side. I knew that I wanted the neck to kind of stand out, so I was trying to figure out how I could make it be attached to the book with the least amount of paper showing. So I decided to just connect it by the ear. I was actually surprised that this worked. The only thing I had to do was trim down her head because she looked like a cone head. But other than that, I really liked how it turned out. So here you can see my little brain cannot figure out why it's off. And I think it's because I should have mirrored. I should have flipped the stencil over as opposed to just placing it down the same way. I still don't know. If someone knows, please tell me because I just erased it and repositioned the stencil. But I'm sure there's a way to do it correctly. And that's one of the reasons why I made the template, so it can be really easy when it comes to putting in the faces. I plan to make another one of these that's a lot more detailed. This book, I felt like I was kind of rushing through or just not really taking my time because I really wanted to see how it would turn out. As I move from face to face, I'm kind of playing with different colors to see which ones I like to use for the skin tone because I want everyone to look different. This stencil is called Journal Girl, and I designed her to kind of be abstract and loose so you can use her to make really precise portraits or you can make really abstract portraits. If you're new to watercolor, it's okay to just use one color to create the whole face, and that'll really help you get a feel for how the water flows, how the paint dries, and all that good stuff. I'm going to repeat the same process with these last three faces as I did with the first two. So I'm just adding a second layer of paint and then I'm going to go back in with pencil. Once everything is dry, I'm going to go ahead and continue to cut out all of the faces. I think that After I made this, I knew that I wanted the ears to be closer together so there wasn't that big gap. But to be honest, if you are adding hair, then this would probably work well because you have that extra surface room or that extra space. Once you print your templates, I'm going to just print 2 pages and cut those out. I'm using mixed media paper. Fold those away from you. So make sure the fold is out. And then you're going to fold this ear flap. I'm going to fold it halfway. I'm going to fold it away from me. So I'm going to make sure that that fold is enough paper to fold it down, but I can still draw my ear in. So these 2 little flaps are what we're going to glue together. I'm just using Fiber Fix and I'm going to just glue those edges and attach those. Depending on how thick your paper is, this might be kind of hard. I know it was kind of hard for me to stick these together. So what I did is I just flipped it over and I got a binder clip and just clipped those together and it works great. Once it's all dry, I'm going to go ahead and take this clip off. And that middle fold is going to come towards you. And then you can fold everything back up. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you make this, please tag me on social media.